Good morning! What a beautiful day it is. Let me turn around and show you. As always, walking down Marietta Street. And today, this Saturday in particular, is kind of an interesting Saturday for me because there's so much going on in my life right now, which I want to share with you. But I think it's very important for me to share because I think people like me, right before they head out for the Camino, are faced with the same things. So today I'm going to go through several of my challenges that I'm facing down in the next couple weeks before I head out. So come in and join me here today, once again, on this lovely Saturday morning. Hey, so I'm walking down First Avenue here. Went to church already this morning. I just want to show you what this lovely little street looks like. And I actually forgot about this street. It's very, very pleasant. I mean, this used to be a very moneyed street. I mean, you can see by the trees here, these huge redwoods and these beautiful houses. And mind you, we're on the edge of Oak Park. I mean, Sac High is right over there. And the Med Center is back over there. But I mentioned this Saturday really has a lot going on for me. So the first thing I want to tell you is I need to get one final big training walk done with this monster. This is my main backpack. Haven't worn it in 2 years, and need to make sure it's still dialed in, which it is. It hasn't adjusted itself in the meantime. And the other thing I had to do is this. Brand new hiking boots. Now you may be saying, you're crazy. You should have been wearing those for weeks. Well, no, because this actually happens to be the 4th pair of these boots I've bought. So I know there's not much break-in time for them. So after today's walk, they're ready to go for the Camino. I know that. So once again, give you an idea where I'm at. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, just imagine living along that street, or that section of street, and even this section. So my next stop is my coffee and continue on to the post office. And hopefully between there and the post office, I'll have another little segment. Hi, it's me again. That's where I'm at, San Ynez and Crescent Way. That's Folsom Boulevard. Got my coffee, and next segment. I guess this main training video really should focus on the critical thing before you leave for the Camino, which is lists. That's the biggest thing I have to deal with today, Saturday, lists. And just to give you a flavor of that, I'm not talking packing lists, which that luckily there's guidebooks that have really good packing lists for you to bring, which you add on your own things to it. But I'm talking about all the incidental things that you need to take care of before you leave. For example, I have to stop my mail. That's on the list. I have to coordinate with the neighbor's kid down the street to take care of the house. That's on the list. I need to transfer additional funds from one bank to another. That's on the list. Other things I need to square away, you know, things around my house, things at work, etc. And so, another thing, for example, for the list is spraying the backpacks for bug repellent. You know, there's these little things you forget about, and then all of a sudden, last minute, you're running around crazy trying to take care of it. Also on the list, things I have to buy. So you have to I have to create a shopping list. I have to create the packing list. I have to create things I have to take care of. But luckily, with walking down such beautiful streets like this, the mind clears and some of those things kind of start bubbling to the surface. So that's another good thing about doing some training walks before you leave. You can dwell on things like, have I remembered everything? Do I have everything? So you can imagine how this stuff could immediately overwhelm you. But luckily, me being a couple weeks out from my Camino, today I can really sit down and construct those lists on this beautiful sunny Saturday. This is M Street, the school here, and this is on the very edge of the Fab 40s. Hi, next little segment here. I'm at the state park. Oh yeah, this is the, right over here is the Fireman's Memorial. Very moving. And you can see the state capitol right over there in the distance and other parts of the park. Like I said earlier, this is kind of a clearinghouse video for Saturday. A lot of stuff going on. I mentioned lists in the last segment, and this time brings something up I'm worried about as well, which is I would say health per se, like health dangers, but I noticed the last 3 or 4 training walks I took, my legs, my lower legs underneath my socks broke out in a red rash of some sort. It wasn't consistent over my entire leg or the lower part of my leg around my calf area, but I'm just concerned about it because I don't know if it's heat rash or some sort of exposure to something, because you know, I do walk through the city cemetery, I do walk through or down along the river levee, so there could be, you know, different things blooming. I could walk by something on my travels through East Sac here and through the state park that I'm also could be allergic to. So I'm kind of curious to see if I break out again. But this time I'm taking pictures as I go to show how my legs are progressing for the day. Speaking of legs and feet, I'm getting rather tired because I haven't had my morning lunch yet, or my lunch break yet. So I'm headed off to the Crocker Art Museum shortly. Right here, that's the Spanish-American War memorial. That is the ship's bell off the USS California, a battleship that served in World War II, was struck at Pearl Harbor. And this is the executive end of the state capitol. Hi, it's me again. Had a very excellent lunch at the Crocker Art Museum, so that's where I'm going to be walking towards. That's going towards Miller Park, but this is the very end of the promenade here, and that's Old Sac over there, beyond those trees around the corner. And here's the train tracks that lead over to Old Sac. It's part of the little excursion train that runs from Old Sac out to almost to Sutterville Road and back. It's kind of a fun thing to do with the family. So, like I said earlier, this is kind of a clearinghouse video of things going on in my head, getting ready for the Camino, which I think people like you who are getting ready for the Camino may be going through similar stuff. But this other segment right here is really also about, just, I guess, mentally getting ready for the Camino, which is also really settling in right now, where I guess there's a little bit of stress and strain, worried about stuff, you know, worried, do I have all the lists done? Do I have everything ready to go? Am I forgetting anything? Am I missing anything? And I think I got all the major things covered, you know, all my GoPro gear ready to go, cell phone ready to go, editing software ready to go, credential ready to go, plane tickets ready to go, clothing pretty much ready to go, because I've done 2 Caminos, so I don't think I need to buy any more clothes. So I'm just a little bit anxious, but right now it's very peaceful by the river. It is a little bit warm, but I believe it hasn't gone above 80 yet. So if I think of anything else, this may be the very last video of today, maybe one more further down the line. Hi, another segment here along the lovely Sacramento River. That's the collector discharge something or other. This is I-5. Way down the distance, maybe the train will pass us again. The train tracks right here are for the excursion trains. But I'm tired winding down this training walk of mine, and a lot of stuff still going on up here in my mind. I gotta go home, get cleaned up, and then after that, later on this evening, I gotta make up some habanero jelly, which has nothing to do with the Camino, but I'm donating it to a couple of fundraisers that I'm gonna miss because I'm gonna be over there, not here. Then I have to also today, part of that whole list thing, I have to run out to REI to pick up a couple things, I think. A couple travel locks, because I realized that I needed a travel lock to carry with me in my backpack, but also I need a couple travel locks to lock up my stuff as it's transported forward each day. So that's what's going on, and I'm glad that part of the business of this Saturday is coming to a close with this final real big training walk. All right, here we go. Last bit of excitement for today, hopefully. Till later.